And we are starting out with some new rules on this program. We're beginning with some new rules. We hear you. We hear you, folks. Dominic Carter here with you. And you have made it clear that on this show, on this particular show, you want to hear different callers, different voices. Now, that doesn't mean that I will stop putting on people that you disagree with. That's not going to happen. But you want to hear new voices. So what that means is that first-time callers, you are our top priority. We want to hear from brand new callers. And effective immediately, if I take your call for either this show, 3 to 4 p.m., or the midnight to 3 a.m. show that we do, that means the next day, please take a break, give it a rest, don't call the next day, and let someone else call. Back-to-back, consistent calls, consistent days, that's not going to happen anymore. And that's the bottom line. So we have a lot to get to, and the number to reach us, as always, 800-848-9222, 800-848-9222. A federal judge seizes control of New York City's jail system, including troubled Rikers Island. There was also a somber start to school this morning in the Bronx after a 16-year-old girl, an innocent bystander, fatally shot in the head. She did nothing wrong, was going to the park, and it ended tragically. Her name, Yvette Jeffrey, was shot in the head, died outside Bronx Latin School Monday. In the Morrisania section around 5 p.m., a 14-year-old boy. She's 16, the boy. She had nothing to do with this. The boy, 14 years old, is in police custody in connection with her murder. In Saudi Arabia, President Trump is there, part of his 4-day Mideast trip, calling on Saudi Arabia to recognize Israel to join the Abraham Accords during a speech to the oil-rich kingdom's leaders Tuesday, saying that he would be greatly honoring, they would be greatly honoring him by doing so. The president, during his remarks, also talking about the U.S. economy.
And most importantly, for the people in this room, the days of economic misery under the last administration are rapidly giving way to the greatest economy in the history of the world. We are rocking. The United States is the hottest country, with the exception of your country, I have to say, right? I'm not going to take that on. No, Mohammed, I'm not going to take that on. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing if I made that full statement? But I will not do it. You're hotter. At least as long as I'm up here, you're hotter.
The president of the United States, President Trump, in Saudi Arabia. Folks, an issue I talk about quite a bit. Something has to give on this transgender issue. Something has to give. We're now looking at situations where parents are starting to heckle transgender athletes. That's exactly what happened to a transgender athlete, A.B. Hernandez.
All right, here we go. That's a boy! That's a boy! That's a man, man! Who's that?
So you heard what was just said there. Something has to give, folks. We see all your calls coming in. We're going to get to them momentarily. Let's move now to the situation in the Bronx. The grandmother of the young lady of the 16-year-old girl, Yvette Jeffrey's grandmother, says she will never forgive her granddaughter's killer, and blames the kid who killed her, blames his family.
Her grandmother tells us she was riding her scooter at the park before heading home when shots erupted on Union Avenue just after 5 p.m. on Monday.
One of my neighbors knocked on the door. She was banging on the door. And we just ran And when I got there, she was on the stretcher and they were pumping her chest. And I told them, I know she's gone. Like, I was screaming.
Authorities say a fight broke out near the building that houses Bronx Latin School. A 14-year-old boy who had been punched and knocked to the ground fired 3 shots into a crowd. Police say Jeffrey was the unintended target, suffering a gunshot wound to the head.
I don't forgive you. I hold your family responsible. They can say I'm sorry a million times. I will never forgive any of you.
Candles burn outside the victim's apartment building. Police still had the scene secured for most of the morning as students headed to class. Parents of children at a nearby elementary school say they're on edge.
It's just never safe over here, really. There's always a lot of violence, so, it sucks because I live right there.
It's very tragic, to be honest. We can't control negativity that's going on in this world, but only thing we can do is bring positivity and try to change, try to help our youth and take them out of the streets. That's as much as we can do.
For now, the victim's family is trying to keep Jeffrey's memory alive. They say they'll remember her as a fun-loving girl.
Since she was little, she's always been like that. She wanted to be everybody's friend. And she has a lot of friends.
So now a funeral is being planned for a 16-year-old girl where all she did was go to the park on her scooter and she was caught up in the middle of this gunfire. And a 14-year-old has ruined his life by randomly firing the gun 3 times. 800-848-9222. We're beginning with your phone calls. Again, folks, remember what I said at the top of the show. New rules effective today. We want to hear from first-time callers first. After that, if you were on the program yesterday, I'm not going to be taking your call today. If you're on the program today from either 3 to 4 or midnight to 3 a.m., then please don't call the next day. Every line is lit up because of the volume of calls that we get. We're trying to make it fair for everyone, and we hear you with your comments on social media. So let's begin with Anthony, Staten Island, line 1. Anthony, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. Very happy to be on the phone with you.
Well, thank you. Are you a first-time caller to the program?
Yes, I'm a first-time caller.
Wonderful,
I
wonderful.
listen to your show every day on the way home, and it's a pleasure.
Wonderful. Thank you, Anthony. Go ahead.
You're a pleasure. I think all these people who let the, like the lawyers, the judges, the doctors, whoever signs off on letting these, lack for a better term, animals out of the jail or out of the crazy house, I think they should go to San Salvador. Spend a couple of months over there and see if they change their mind when they come back. That's my thoughts.
Well, it would be interesting, Anthony, right? It would certainly give them a newfound respect, or it should give them a newfound respect for what we're dealing with here in terms of crime and repeat offenders and so on. Thank you so much, Anthony, for the first-time caller, and we look forward to hearing from you in the very near future. Let's go to Nick, line 5, Peekskill. Nick, what's on your mind?
Hello, Dominic. Nice to speak to you. I love your knowledge about music. It really something nice. I hope you keep it up.
Oh, well, thank you.
My call is a very simple call, I think. Why do any of these, I'm down the railroad right now, why do some of these people that are running for mayor just come out and say, we don't need no more of this cancer fail? It's a mess.
You ask why don't they?
What do you say?
Okay,
Yeah,
so all right, so wait. So let's work through this together, Nick. So if you're running for mayor of New York City, so now Nick and Peekskill, you're running, and the base is far left. The people that are going to vote in the primary in about a month from now. Remember, it's not in September anymore. The Democratic primary is in June. I think it's June 24th. So you've got to find a way to resonate with the people that are going to vote. If you tell them what you just said, Nick, you can kiss your campaign goodbye. That's why they don't do it, because you've got to give them what they want to hear, and they want all they want to hear, and it's crazy logic, but all they want to hear is that the system is so unfair to people of color, and that you should be able to get out on bail. But yet, look at the people that are dying. Nick, I'll give you the final word. Go right ahead.
My last word, Dominic, it's so It's I can't comprehend it. First of all, that if somebody can get arrested 11 times,
It's ridiculous,
and shoot a person and kill him, and the guy's dead, and he gets away with all the other things, and the other things wasn't like stealing a toothbrush either.
right? Serious, accused of serious crimes, but you have to attribute it to the craziness of these far left politicians, and they get into the city council, they go up to Albany, and they're the ones that come up with this system. And I don't even blame the judges, because the judges, to a large degree, their hands are tied in terms of what they can do. And in most cases, the suspect is going to get bail. But it's unfortunate they're going to walk out without leaving a deposit for bail. They're not going to be incarcerated. But it's unfortunate because these incidents are occurring over and over and over again. And you're dealing with street smart people that know how to play and work the system. It's really unfair. It is really tragic. Nick, thank you for the great call. Let's go to Richard, line 3 in the Bronx. Richard, what's on your mind?
First time caller, Dominic, and
Wonderful.
every time I felt like I needed volume because you start out the show sometime by saying dramatic things. Mother's Day, we should have at least start the Mother's Day by hearing you and your family talk about it. You alluded to it later, but you had me stressed up because you went right to they should shoot some 9-year-old, 7-year-old because they were with toy guns. Where have we, the society, come to that a kid on Mother's Day with people all outside and a 79-year-old used to play with cat guns? I know it's desensitized by Hollywood and the politics, but that's all we get.
So Richard, so you would rather I not tell the truth and tell you what's going on in the world around you? That's what you would rather?
Yes, but I was talking to a lady today, a senior citizen. This woman fell off a ladder. We taking medicine or that.
Okay, wait, Richard, it bears repeating. So you would rather I not tell you that someone was tragically killed, or you just want me to focus on the good things? I just want to make sure I understand your logic.
That's not reality. No, we need to know what's going on because some of us don't have TV. All I have is radio and I listen to you. But the thing is, for your show, because I heard they're liking more of us because I don't know. We can't be okay. Just put it to this point. We're going to say this one is fab. We back to hurting each other. When are we going to be together, united again?
Richard, my friend Richard, I spent 2.5 hours prior to Mother's Day talking about Mother's Day on the midnight show. Now, maybe you didn't catch that show. I also discussed Mother's Day. I made sure that we had plenty of time to talk to the mothers, to talk to the people that were honoring the mothers. So you get a variety. I hear you. Thank you for the call, Richard. Don't be a stranger. Let's hear from you in the future. I hear you on your concern. My job is to tell you the truth, no matter what the truth may be. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's ugly. For example, I don't want to talk about a 16-year-old girl going to the park and she's hit in the head with a bullet, but it is the reality of the world that we live in. So rather, Richard, than telling me not to focus on stuff like that, how about getting involved in your community to try and avoid situations like that where young people are running amok, doing absolutely horrible things? We've got to take a break. We are coming right back.
Our children. If you harm our children, you will be given no sanctuary. There is no place we will not come to hunt you down. There is no place we will not look for you. And there is no cage we will not put you in should you do harm to our children. The prioritization of this administration and General Bondi has made it abundantly clear to child predators, you will be hunted down and you will be prosecuted. And that is a refreshing thing to hear for the men and women who do this work tirelessly. And it's also an acknowledgement of the safety that we look forward to bringing America.
And that is the FBI Director, Kash Patel, talking about discussing the FBI having caught 205 child predators, vowing to hunt more. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll be talking to former New York Congressman Peter King. In light of, and we see all your calls, and if you can't get through just yet, folks, just hold on for a second. In light of what happened in the Bronx, and this happens all the time, all over the country, innocent bystanders shot, crime in urban America, guns in urban America. Something that we dealt with earlier today, a woman that posted something, a woman of color, a black woman, on social media calling out, let's say, urban crime. She's going to be more direct, as you're about to listen to, talking specifically about certain African Americans.
Who invited these I'm sorry, but you really can't take certain, folk places. Sometimes you just can't take them nowhere nice. You can't have a good time with certain black people. And nobody wants to say that part out loud because immediately it's like you're racist. It's respectability politics. It's all of these. How about no? It's just that ghetto blacks have a tendency to ruin all the fun. They're confrontational. They're constantly living in this sort of state of fight or flight. They can't settle. They can't live in peace. They're always like, who said what about who? Where's my gun? Where's my this? Where's my that? Let me get to shooting in this. It was supposed to be a party where you just go, have some little foods, have some little drinks, have a little music, have a good time. Some Shaquafala or some Pookie Ray Ray decided to, stir the pot, I guess. It's inevitable whenever you get a group of these types of ghetto blacks in one place. They always got to mess up the fun for everybody. You can't take them nowhere. Sorry, but nobody else wants to say it.
And she's referring to what happened recently in Memphis, Tennessee. And you look online, you see these videos everywhere of violence, and it's awful. Let's go to line one. Richard in Florida. Richard, what's on your mind?
Dominic, this is another choke up for the governor and for the mayor. They don't put no discipline, no law.
Wait. When you say this is I couldn't hear. What are you referring to, Richard? I don't know what you're talking about.
With the laws these governors.
So you're not talking about the 16-year-old girl? I'm trying to follow you, Richard.
Yeah, the 16-year-old
Okay,
girl.
go ahead.
These kids are killing each other, these babies, you could say. You know what I'm saying? And the reason, when the governor put out leniency for these criminals, you know what I'm saying? The mayor doesn't want to let the cops do their work, They need to bring up these old laws, stop and search.
I hear you, Richard. You make a good point there. Coming up next, Congressman Peter King. Joining us live right now, former Congressman Peter King. It's always great to chat with you. Congressman, how are you doing? How's your wife doing?
Well, actually, both of us, especially Rosemary, we had like bad chest colds over the weekend. My son came out to visit us. He's a hockey player. He came out, and he ended up with a sore throat. He goes back home, and Rosemary and I ended up. But we're doing fine. She's doing fine. She told me to say hello to you. She's a bit of laryngitis. She can't say it herself, but she sends her love.
Oh, fantastic. So I didn't know you had a son that plays hockey.
Yeah, he's well into his 50s, but he plays hockey with these adult teams, and a lot of them are retired cops and firefighters, and they kill each other.
Right.
They kill each other.
They do the checks, the body checks, and so on.
Yeah.
But they enjoy it, Congressman. So if that's how they get their happiness, so be it. So
he lives for us.
I want to begin this way, Congressman Peter King. You and I both know the answer, but assess the last 72 hours for President Trump.
I think it's been a great victory, certainly a political victory. I think what he achieved with China, at the very least, it calms things down and it creates the opportunity to get a deal to improve our situation as far as trade. That, to me, is important. And just a few days before that, of course, with Great Britain, that also is, again, a very positive step forward. The inflation numbers come out low, and now he's in the Middle East. And I'm not a big fan of Saudi Arabia, but you have to find a way to deal with them. They are a tremendous source of oil and energy. They are a counterweight in the Middle East to Iran. And the more he goes to places like Saudi Arabia, even Qatar and UAE, and stands against Iran, that is so important to do, because Iran has to know that we will all stand together against them, and the U.S. certainly will stand with Israel, and hopefully these other countries, at the very least, will be more at least neutral toward Israel. They will not side with Iran. So, and if he can bring get American business interests satisfied in Saudi Arabia, get more Arabs, more Saudi money invested in the United States, more businesses started here, and again, trade deals. That's all important to do to establish ourselves not just as a European power, but also as a Middle East power in the best sense of the word.
Well, Saudi Arabia, the White House just announced that they're committing to $600 billion in investment in the U.S. You know, Congressman King, I found something interesting. A CNN analysis suggests that the president's trip to Saudi Arabia is merely a distraction from his failures. What is wrong with these people, Congressman King? This president is on a roll. It's been victory after victory, a major victory. And they're talking about that this trip is a distraction from his failure. What's wrong with these people?
You know, the major crisis when he came into office was the immigration issue, which could not be solved unless we had dramatic bipartisan legislation passed by the House and Senate, signed by the president, which would take many months, and even then it would take years. The fact is, within his first 60 days, he sealed the border. And not only is he deporting people, which is important, but more important than that is they're not coming across the border. The border is sealed. This is something that was supposed to take a generation to correct, and he did it in less than 2 months. That's number one. Number two, inflation was at 2.3%. It's the lowest it's been since he was last in office. And that's the other irony. So, I mean, he had 4 years of inflationary growth during Biden, and now you have it back down to where it was under Trump. And so this, to me, is a success. Listen, things aren't perfect, and he's got to have some legislative battles along the way, but nothing is easy. And to the extent that anyone can make it easy, he has made it easy, certainly as far as what he's doing at the border, what he's doing as far as inflation. And so, no, I think he's doing, and also by the positive use of American power in the Middle East, firming up a relationship with Saudi Arabia, whether or not it's an alliance, but have a strong relationship with them so that we know they are with us against Iran, and the United Arab Emirates to show it's in their interest and ours to work together against Iran and to have whatever business dealings we can also, which are not one way.
So, Congressman Peter King, this weekend announcement from Switzerland, as it relates to China, is it a game changer, or the president described it as a reset on the tariff issue?
I would say it's more of a reset, but it gives us 90 days for both sides to realize that you can't have a total break between us and China. Listen, I'm not a fan of China at all. They're a terrible, authoritarian, maybe totalitarian country, but the fact is they're there as an economic power. We have many business dealings with them. We can't be cutting everything off with them. I think we should try to get more businesses like pharmaceuticals be back here in the United States. But no, I need to find a way where we can improve our situation with China, but without bringing the world economy to a halt, without bringing our economy to a halt, and also without in any way sacrificing a strong, I consider an ally, Taiwan.
So, in fairness, Congressman Peter King, President Biden did it a little bit with insulin, but Democrats talk of lowering drug prices. Trump is getting it done. And we all know that when he decides to focus on an issue, he is going to bring it and a lot of pressure. So talk to me about how much it's a game changer with the president signing that executive order to lower prescription drug prices.
I think it's definitely going to bring about a lowering of prices. How low they can go, I'm not certain. Because, I mean, one of the reasons why they do cost more in the United States is money is needed for research and development. Having said that, I think the pharmaceutical companies have gone far beyond what they have to. So I think that by bringing them to the table, by letting them know that it's like put up or shut up, you're going to see reasonable compromises made by the pharmaceutical companies, which are going to, in the end, of course, not in the end, but right at the very start, benefit your patients, the people who use them, people who can't afford medications the way they are now. So I think that it's a very positive step. And what it does is it changes the whole momentum. It reverses it, and it puts the pharmaceutical companies under pressure to lower their prices. And he's not going to put them out of business. He knows the importance of the pharmaceutical industry. Let me make it clear, by the way. The whole time I was in Congress, I never got $1 in campaign donations from pharma. So I'm not advocating for them. I'm just saying that we do have the best research and development in the world. I'm going to keep it that way. But I think those companies can cut back somewhat on the tremendous profits they're making and return them to the American people.
Congressman King, I want you to put this hat on for a second. I don't see a Democrat out there that can run a presidential campaign and win. I mean, we're hearing names like AOC, which has got to be a complete joke. If you were assessing this in total fairness, what Democrats are out there that can seriously run for president of the United States?
The only one I've seen that I can think of would be Josh Shapiro in Pennsylvania. He talks like a normal person. He at least sounds more moderate, and he can put coherent sentences together. Now, how he would really be, we'd have to scrutinize him a lot more. But even then, I mean, there's so many more Republicans other than him who would do a great job as president. So I would say what he does is he probably qualifies to be a candidate, but this isn't a superstar. This isn't an FDR or a Harry Truman or a JFK or even or certainly not a Bill Clinton. There's no Bill Clinton out there, put it that way.
Fair enough. I close this way, Congressman Peter King. Is there anything on your mind that's floating in your mind these days that I didn't ask you about that you feel should be talked about or mentioned? Political stories?
Listen, I'm not going to tell you what to cover. You're usually the best story of anyone for covering it. I would just say that what's made to order for you is this mayor's race coming up.
Okay, let's do it.
I mean, you are Mr. New York politics, and with all these candidates, with Eric Adams being independent, Andrew Cuomo coming back, having a socialist there, and also having Curtis in the package. This to me is going to be the most exciting mayor's race. And I hope it goes beyond excitement. I hope it's actually productive. But I can't think of a more exciting one in years. This is it. And so it's made to order for a guy like you. So your ratings should go through the roof as you give you a day-by-day analysis as we get close to the primary day. And then also, even past primary, going toward the general election. It's no shoe-in. For instance, if that socialist wins the Democratic nomination, then he's going to be up against Eric Adams and Curtis and Andrew on an independent line. I mean, this is going to be it's serious business. At the same time, it's also like a traveling road show. So, no, you're the best to cover this, I tell you.
Well, Congressman Peter King, thank you as always. I look forward to chatting with you again soon. I want you to rest up. I want you to feel better. I want your wife to feel better. And I look forward to chatting with you soon. Thank you so much.
It's always great having a great, intelligent conversation with you, Dominic. Thank you so much.
And thank you, former Congressman Peter King. The congressman mentioned the race for mayor. So my take, before we go right back to your telephone calls, I see Mark on line 2 in New Jersey wants to talk about the mayor's race. My take as of right now. Now, remember, folks, I am not giving you I am not telling you who I want to win. I'm telling you in my professional analysis as someone who has done this a long time, the way it appears right now. The Democratic nomination still belongs to Andrew Cuomo. Lander, the city controller, is apparently spending a lot of television money to go negative against Cuomo. We'll see what happens. What plays to Cuomo's advantage? What plays to his advantage is that the Democratic primary is only a month and about 10 days away. So the Democratic primary will be resolved in a month and 10 days. Normally, whoever wins the Democratic primary, they are the next mayor of New York City. The exceptions to that in recent memory happened to be when Giuliani won and when Bloomberg won. This Mandami character, the socialist, he's polling a strong second. It is dangerous if this man is anywhere near the Democratic nomination for mayor of New York City. On the Republican side, you have Curtis Sliwa, and I wish him well. I know them all personally. I wish them all well. But as of right now, I still say that it's Cuomo's race to lose. And from what I see right now, maybe a four-way race where crime is played up very big, then maybe, wishing upon a star, then Mr. Sliwa would have a chance. But other than that, none whatsoever. I'm just being honest with you folks. Don't blame the messenger. I am very good at predicting these things. They are what they are. Line 2, Mark in New Jersey. What's on your mind, Mark?
Good afternoon, Dominic. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Wonderful. Music to my ears. Go right ahead, Mark.
Yes, thank you for being a positive example to the black and brown youth.
Well, thank you. I try.
Yes, no, you do. And yes, as a New Jerseyan born and raised, as of now, unless I move to the city somehow within the year, I'm not going to be able to vote. But what is going on in the city is just incredible and unbelievable. I have 4 kids, 3 daughters, one that's 15. I could only imagine what would happen. What would happen in my mind if what happened to that grandmother, to that 16-year-old girl, God bless her.
Yes.
And I'm 42, and I hear stories about a 41-year-old man getting stabbed on the subway or on the bus. And I want to go to New York. I want to take my family and my kids and spend money and have a great time in the greatest city in the world. I mean, if this was Roman times, New York City would be Rome. But I just feel unsafe bringing my children to the city. I don't know if you take your son or your children to the city.
I do, Mark, but I got to be straight with you. Every time that my family's in the city, it's a risk. I feel it's a risk. When my family's in the city, and I know they think I'm a little batty, but I demand to know where they are at all times, their locations, to make sure they're vigilant, looking around. So in other words, the same things you're expressing, Mark, are the same exact concerns that when my family is in the city of New York. The one good thing about my wife being retired now, she worked up at Manhattan College in Riverdale in the Bronx, is that she doesn't have to come to New York City every day. And I know that sounds horrible, but that's one of the blessings of her now being retired. Mark, you have the final word before I move on.
It's one less thing that you have to worry about, Dominic. But to the
Correct.
people of New York City, what do you have to lose? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again.
You're correct.
Voting for Andrew Cuomo or Mandani or any of these other candidates is not going to be it. The only person that knows New York City from the sewers all the way in and out is Curtis Lewa. I've been hearing him for over 20 years. There's no one that knows the city more, and I believe that he is the best chance, the only chance that we have. So please, do your research and vote for Curtis Lewa. There's nothing you have. What do we have to lose?
Mark, we thank you so much. The first-time caller from New Jersey. We hope to hear from you in the near future, Mark. Thank you for the wonderful call. Time for a break. We are coming right back. I'm still thinking about the police commissioner, Jessica Tisch, up in the Morris Senior section of the Bronx about 5 p.m. yesterday. 16-year-old girl, innocent bystander, had nothing to do with it. Shot in the head and killed. 14-year-old suspect in custody. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Let's go to Rose, line 3. Long Island, what's on your mind, Rose?
Hi, Dominic. I love you, and I love this guy, Mark, who just called in. He sees things with a clear eye and a good soul, much like you do. What I wanted to know, the first thing is, how do we recruit Peter King to run back in Congress? That's number one. We have to get that done because he's the only one that could be snake oil salesman, Swazi. What I called is I heard the feds today are going to take over the Rikers Island. Does that mean ICE could get back in there?
I don't know exactly what it means, Rose. I can only tell you that the judge in a 77-page order, Judge Laura Swain, says she's going to appoint a federal receiver. Now, this is a move that's been long desired by advocates, and it's done to correct dangerous conditions in which Rikers has tried to fix, but they have not been able to do so. So I don't know. My hunch says no. I'm hoping that they would be, but this is more to correct the dangerous conditions at Rikers.
Okay, thank you. I was just wondering, despite what Tish has to say, I was hoping they get back in there. Okay,
right.
Still love you.
Oh, thank you, Rose. Love going right back out at you. Again, soundbite number 12, the police commissioner of New York City, Jessica Tisch, on what happened in the Bronx.
Our city has suffered another senseless tragedy tonight. 16-year-old girl playing in a schoolyard is now dead. And a 14-year-old boy is wanted in connection with her death.
Horrible, horrible situation. Let's go to Jay, New Jersey, line 1. Jay, what's on your mind?
Yeah, hey, Dominic. I had great enjoyment looking at that picture of Donald Trump shaking the crown prince's hand in Saudi Arabia, you know, it reminded me of when we had Joe Biden giving that guy that goofy, awkward, tactless fist bump. And, you know, I'm so happy that we finally have a president with some class and some tact, you know, Dominic.
Well, and a president that is respected. Let's not forget that one as well. And yes, Jay, I agree with you wholeheartedly. President Trump is a man of tremendous class, dignity, and respect. And the greatest part about him is that he loves this country, and he wants the best for all Americans. Think about it, Jay. What other president put their capital on the line first 100 days to fight for tariffs? Every president talks a good game, gets in office, and then lets it slide because they don't want to risk anything. Trump said, I don't think so, and was pounded in the media, but he didn't back up, did he, Jay?
Yeah, and look no further than, you know, the Democrats storming that ICE building in Newark. You could tell what side they're on, but Donald Trump is on the side of the American citizenry.
Absolutely. And when you think about that, Jay, thank you for the wonderful call. Really a great call, Jay. Why would you storm a federal building that has MS-13 members, alleged rapists, possible murderers, child predators? Why are you so concerned with their rights and not the rights of the people that put you in office? Why would you do that? And then you would think they would say, look at how bad Kamala lost. We need to do things differently. They're just not getting the message. Line 3, Sid, Westchester. Sid, you got 30 seconds. Go ahead, please.
Okay, just a last comment. I enjoyed Peter King's last comment on it was nice talking to you, Dominic, and having an intelligent conversation. And I could read between the lines, and I know where Peter King is coming from. And that's it. It's just a real intelligent conversation speaking to you, Dominic.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. I'm not touching any of that, but thank you very much, folks. All it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org.